I think at this point, I would like to attempt, because we are not that far into the stream, well, we're only about an hour and 50 minutes in, I am going to attempt, keyword, attempt an arcade run as Dizzy. There's a chance this ends really badly. Again, I'm not confident in this whatsoever, but I want to give this a try, just because it's been a bit since I've done a full arcade playthrough. We have, what, 10 fights it looks like? Very interesting artwork style of this game, which is something that people kind of lament in later games, is that Daisuke did a lot more of the artwork in the older games, and now he kind of does more of like the key art, basically, but not really like a lot of the character portraits and stuff. I almost feel like Guilty Gear had a more unique look in a way back in this era, just because of like it having a very distinct art style, at least for the character portraits. But again, there's actually a story I have related to this game, where I actually didn't play it for the longest time, because I didn't like the cover of the Wii version of either Plus or regular. I don't remember which one. But A.B.A's on the cover, and, you know, just having, like, A.B.A as the cover character was enough to be like, I don't know how I would feel about this game. So I never actually played it. I see Nicole's back to thinking about Ghost Girls, which is, again, very on brand. Ghost Girls are pretty in a lot of cases. I think about Undertale a lot in that regard, the whole, like, would you smooch a ghost? And it's like, yeah, of course. Like, why would the answer be anything else? I was just button mashing. I wasn't even trying, to be honest. Also, like, how are they floating? That's another question I just kind of thought of. Well, that went well for our first fight against Zappa. I want Zappa back, just because I'd be really curious to see what the heck they do with him. Because, like, how would he play, in Strive? Because I think, the ghost is like Esco, which is obviously a reference to Sadako from The Ring. I want to say, like, she's not, like, controlling him the same way as in these games, like, he's more in control of this situation. Which almost feels like the general course of Guilty Gear lore, is that characters kind of, like, start out with some kind of, like, power that they can't quite control, and then they kind of learn to accept themselves. And again, that's like the recurring theme in Guilty Gear. It's like, there's almost like a recurring theme of acceptance with various characters, whether it's their powers or like some aspect of themselves that they're trying to reject and then have to kind of embrace in the end. So again, thematically, I think Guilty Gear is a very poignant series, despite how absolutely bonkers it can also be. So it's got a duality to it, and again, this is probably my favorite fighting game at the moment. I'm honestly not super into, like, Street Fighter, for example, and again, it's partly just there's no one I connect to on an emotional level. I don't really care about most characters in Street Fighter. Like, the most interested I am in the Street Fighter 5 character is Akira, and that's cheating, because she's a rival school's character. And, like, there's no one I'm super jazzed for out of Street Fighter 6's core roster. It's like, I sort of played Cammy for a little bit, just because, like, I don't know who else to play. I can't play Chun-Li. I'm bad at charge characters. So I tried Cammy and didn't have a whole lot of luck, to be honest. So, like, right now, it's kind of weird that there's a high possibility that the character I gravitate to most in the roster by the end of Season 2 is actually Mai, who, again, isn't a Street Fighter character. So again, a little bit awkward just fighting a main sometimes, because I tend to need to connect to a character on, like, a deep level, to want the, like, motivation to, like, grind out, like, movesets and stuff. So, again, I don't know if that's, like, unusual or anything. There's also this move. I almost never use this move. If I can get it to activate... What is it? Is it back? Yeah, it's back. But if you can pop the bubble over a character, it actually deals extra damage. So kind of like a combo extender, but setting it up is such a headache that I almost never end up using it. So yeah, Dizzy is releasing in October, end of October for Strive, and I am It occurred to me actually, one question I have is who's gonna be her final boss? Because, in at the start of the game, basically every character's arcade mode ends with, Nagoriyuki. And then later on, they started adding extra characters. Wow, I am getting destroyed here. They started adding extra characters, so like with Bridget, her final boss is Kai. I'm pretty sure someone has Testament as the final boss. I want to say Elfelt has Faust. And each character gets like special like level 9 versions to fight against if you actually get to that point of like, beating every round without like losing once. You can fight a special level 9 version. It's actually the last achievement I'm missing. I'm like, should I try for it on stream with Dizzy? Like when she comes out, should I try to go for that? Cause that could take hours, to be honest. And even multiple streams, depending on how much I want to do in a day. Yeah, it could be Kai, because that makes sense from the perspective of, you know, couple. And again, I think Kai is her final boss in Exard, but I almost wonder if they'd go with Testament, just to kind of like, since this is the first game that they've been in for a bit, if they would try to, connect, like, her story can involve, like, reconnecting with Testament. Because the ending of Strive's main story mode does end with, like, Kai, Dizzy, and Sin, and, like, Testament is like, kind of watching from the shadows, so I kind of wonder if they're gonna go somewhere with that, where it's like, they kind of reconnect, because this is the first time they would have crossed paths since, Testament forgave humanity, essentially. So yeah, I kind of hope they do something with that, personally. If not, that's fine. But yeah, very curious to see what they do with their moveset, too. There's also a weird Easter egg on this stage in particular, where the guy in the background can actually be painting an alien, and bizarrely enough, it's actually an achievement. It's really annoying, because it's got a low chance of actually happening, so you have to just reload the stage every time. Really specific Easter egg. Yeah, this was like the Guilty Gear I did, you know, start out with, so it's probably the most nostalgic in a way, even though I didn't actually play it much. I kind of like played it and then jumped straight into BlazBlue, because I was so in an anime phase at that point, where it's like, how to describe it? It's like, I was so into anime that I just immediately gravitated more towards, the aesthetic of BlazBlue, even though nowadays, well, partly because BlazBlue is essentially, you know, dormant as a franchise, but I have definitely warmed up more, and ended up gravitating back to Guilty Gear with Strive, partly all the hype. But again, if any character would be to come back, that was a weird way to put it, if any character would come back, I definitely do think Jam and, Robo-Ky have very good odds, but also I, again, would like to see Zappa just to see what the heck they do with his moveset. Or story for that matter, because again, there's not a ton of story. That is one issue people have with Strive, is like in Xrd, the arcade modes act as like individual story modes for every character, and that's the case for some but not others, in a way that's like kind of frustrating. Some characters get a lot more development than others, which can be a little bit frustrating if like your favorite doesn't get much. Like again, Johnny doesn't get much character growth, or at least the Johnny and May storyline doesn't get much like change from the status quo in Johnny's storyline, to the point where it just kind of frustrated people. I remember at the time. Also, I'm realizing that I can talk very fast when I want to. I don't know how understandable I am at the moment, because I'm just kind of like rambling. I did try to enable like a captions, like an AI, like no cloud-based like Google captioning service thing that's highly recommended for like voice detection and like live captions. I have no clue if it's doing a good job or not, to be honest, because I'm like talking so fast at this point. Again, this is how I get with series I care like really strongly about, is I can just kind of go a mile a minute and talk about them in a way. And again, I don't even remember what I was just talking about because of this slight tangent just now. But also, hi. I do hope everyone is having a good day. My brain is like, again, having to shift back to regular conversation from Guilty Gear for a moment, so I'm just kind of like a little bit frazzled. But yeah, hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is having a good start to the week. My start to the week is okay, I guess. I mean, obviously getting to affiliate, like, this is the first affiliate stream, actually, which is kind of a nice feeling. Again, I would like to do something more special going forward, but actually, I don't really have a lot planned at the moment. I definitely need to finalize some plans to do, like, a special thing. Maybe, like, invite friends to CoCom and do, like, a special stream for a bit. Need to ask around, because, like, the new Mario Party's out soon, so maybe I could make that a special stream. But I don't know who all is picking that up. Also, I was not looking at the screen, so I just got a pot shot there. Yeah, like, I thought about doing, like, more multiplayer stuff for, like, a special affiliate celebration. Again, I hope ads also aren't too annoying, because, again, I actually don't know how bad it is. I admittedly have not noticed, because I've been so focused on the game, and this is a game, both of these are games where it's like really hard to tap out without causing problems, like the audio stopping. So unfortunately, if anything has happened, I totally have missed it. That went surprisingly okay so far. We should be getting close. Aw. I'm glad, Esper. Alright, moving on to a mirror match. This is gonna be frustrating. Again, this is like a thing I don't like. I don't like having mirror match songs, just because I like Dizzy's theme. So I wish I could hear it, but because I play Dizzy most of the time nowadays, I never get to hear her song. The other special themes are for the Assassin's Guild, specifically Milia and Zada 1, I think, and also there's a special song for Sol and Kai. So again, there are special matchups that do have specific songs, which is like cool, but again, if you like that song, then unfortunately that means you will not be hearing it. So yeah, I did talk about the different versions. Again, X to the Midnight Carnival was number 1, then Reload, then Slash, but again, that was Japan only. And then there's basically like a total revision to the point of actually justifying renaming it again. Accent Core and then Accent Core Plus. Again, I think both of those would have been Wii and PS2, and maybe PSP. And then also finally Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus, or XX Accent Core Plus R, which is like the current version, and again, the one I'd recommend because it has rollback. Though, honestly, I don't know how much I'd play this game online with, like, ranked modes, because I have a feeling what would happen is I'd jump in, get destroyed, and then lose interest. But basically, I almost want to say something about that Win quote about Dizzy causing political problems by being alive, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. Because my gut response was to be like, just like me for real, and it's like, I don't know what that says about me. And that was the way I wanted to respond to that. Also, Robo-Ky's song is amazing. This is part of the reason why I want him in Strive. Like, would he get his own theme, or would they try to do the same thing as in the old games and try to give, like, a bad version of Roar of the Spark? Like, I almost want to hear that, to be honest, because again, in the older games, he basically has, like, a really distorted, messed up version of Kai's main theme, so I think it would be really fascinating if they tried that again. Yep. Robo-Ky. Why is he red? I actually don't know what the heck Robo-Ky's moveset is, so it's like, I guess that must be like an install something, but I genuinely don't know what that attack is, because I don't understand a lot of characters I don't actively play, it feels like. And me talking over it is slightly unfortunate, but again, I would recommend looking up like Robo-Ky's theme, just because it is something. It's one of those moments where I almost wish Robo-Ky was in X Advance, just to see how bad a GBA version of Robo-Ky's song would be, because his main theme is supposed to be kind of like the messed up version. So how about just making a GBA messed up version? So again, I do wish he was in X for that very specific reason. Yeah, that's an install. What if Holy Orders was drunk off its ass? Exactly, and it's amazing. Robo-Kentucky, that's the other one I hear from time to time. I do like how it's a recurring thing with Guilty Gear, that characters just get nicknames that are just like, his head fell off. Yeah, that happens. He'll be fine. But I do really like how this is just a thing with, like, Guilty Gear fans. They don't use full names a lot. Like, or they just mess up names on purpose. Obviously, again, you have Brisket and all the subsequent variations of that, but again, with Alpha, you have Asphalt and Elephant. With Saul Bad Guy, you have Saul Goodman. Help, help. Oh, I hadn't thought about that one, that works. But, okay, this is like the second to last fight. I'm actually like, oh boy, this could be a problem. You have to proceed with caution here, because I am getting a little bit bodied. Again, this is a beginner, and I'm still kind of getting messed up here. The AI does not mess around when you get to the end, unfortunately for me, as someone who's like, okay, but not like amazing. I need to remember faultless defense. That's a real problem I'm having. Alright, got the super off, that'll help. I don't know if I should be burning all this meter. I don't think it carries though, so it's fine. So yeah, I feel like Testament and Dizzy both benefit from like their setup attacks. So it's like, to optimally play these characters, you have to set up so much garbage on screen and just like basically force them to like block until they screw up. So it's a very unique playstyle, and again, like Testament in particular is seen as a very like oppressive character at high level. Like if you fight a really good Testament player, yeah, have fun getting kind of destroyed because again, Testament is very overpowered in this game. Ow. And again, you can actually burn meter on certain like Dust special versions of attacks. So I don't know if that's what was happening there, but in general, it is kind of interesting how mechanically dense this game is. And yeah, it's like, Dizzy and Testament's relationship is like, really, like, fascinating to me. As someone who likes both characters quite a bit, too, it's like, it's kind of interesting how much my favorite characters all kind of like intertwine in their like relationships here. So it's like, you know, Dizzy has connections to May, who has connections to Bridget. It's like a 7 degrees of separation with all my favorite characters. So it's just very like cool in that regard. Alright, time to get completely destroyed. Because again, just because this is beginner doesn't mean that the AI won't cheat. So yeah, this is the attack we didn't see during X2. Yeah, she can just do that. It sucks. Probably shouldn't have bursted there, but I'm not sure what else I was supposed to do there. Yeah, I died from chip damage. I don't think I was holding the right buttons for faultless defense though, so maybe that's part of it. But yeah, we have to worry about that. We might be here for a bit. Which again is why I wasn't entirely sure if 1, we'd actually finish this, and 2, how long this stream would be. Again, I was totally expecting this to go long just cause, oh, this fight sucks sometimes, and then it's like a wave. Alright, so we're good to go, we can keep attacking. Yeah, she can just pull that out whenever. Oh shoot, sometimes she just does that where she psychs you out. So yeah, this fight sucks. I'm feeling good, actually. I'm feeling good about this fight. Like, you know, jumping into this, I haven't done this fight in like a year or two, when I rebought Accent Core plus R, when I got back into my Guilty Gear craze. But But honestly, I think I can do this. It might take a few tries. Also, we screwed up. You get a special, like, Order Soul fight if you do everything, like, without losing. Also, you have to do, like, end, like, half of the fights with an overdrive or something, which we also didn't do, so we wouldn't fight Order Soul anyway, but that's something I also need to do on my own times at some point. But yeah, this is on beginner, just to reiterate. Yeah, this is still beginner, and like, Ino's this oppressive, in boss form. So yeah, I need to be aware of the mix-up. Basically, that's the thing that threw me off. If I had, like, dodged that, second, I think the attack is, like, Megalomania or something, or at least that might be the Strive version of it. And that, actually, no, that's her other super. She gets, like, 2 special supers. So it's like, they want to make, like, a really oppressive boss fight, and they can if they want to. It's like, everyone talks about SNK bosses, but a lot of, like, Guilty Gear fights are, like, really bad, too. Obviously, you have, like, Nago is the other big example. Oh, that went down. Also, I think I'll need to turn a light on soon. I don't know how well the VTuber is gonna be tracking, because, like, the sun's going down. So if you notice, like, Blink's not responding anymore, that's because there's no, like, sunlight. Oh yeah, I tabbed out of the game because I was checking, like, the camera, so that was on me. So yeah, we'll keep trying this fight for a bit. Again, I have stamina to go for a while. Okay, yeah, I was like, maybe I should test Faultless Defense. Like, actually figure out the command for it. That could help. But again, I'm not playing, like, aggressive enough as Dizzy. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to figure out, I think it's, like, specific buttons, but, oh boy, this is the full screen one. Yeah, no, that hurts. See, we're almost like 1 round in. It's like, I need to not speak. I need to not open my mouth when I'm doing well. Like, oh yeah, we almost have a round. It's like, yeah, and she's gonna make sure I don't. Okay, so, note to self, don't say I'm doing well, because I'm apparently prone to jinxing. Oh shoot, I ran into it. That was just me being presumptuous. Now we're kind of just screwed for the rest of the fight. Case in point. Also, that does like 40%. Like, that's just a rude attack. Also, by the way, speaking of that win animation, this game is actually unique. It has multiple ratings. Certain versions of this game are T, others are M. And it's like, just generally speculated it's because of Ino's, like, win animation where she takes her shirt off. Though I almost feel like Dizzy's second ending, which was the first one we saw today, that one also might be part of the M rating, to be honest. Oh, that was a whiff, okay. As long as she doesn't do the full screen, we might be able to pull this back. Yeah, basically. It's one of those cases where it's like gore in games, you can sometimes get away with that and get a T rating, but then, yeah, showing like breasts, then that's a no. Too far. Okay, we got 1 round, so I'm feeling okay, at least from the perspective of being able to actually, like, win this fight, and not just being walled here for the next 2 hours. It's like, you know, we technically did okay. Just the full screen is the one I'm, like, really unsure of what to do with. I need to punch more, I need to kick more, that's my problem, because, like, I almost feel like Ino's a character you have to, like, poke at, and, like, also, what's the word I'm looking for? Hit confirm. Like, I'm not doing enough confirms. So I'm kind of just going straight into attacks, with a lot of, like, startup and taking damage because of that. Ow. Oh, that was almost cool. Alright. Staggered, so we can actually almost set something up. Oh, that was bad. Burst. Bait. Oh boy. I don't know if we can survive this, even with Faultless Defense. We're barely alive. We need to play very carefully. Oh, this'll kill regardless, I think. Yeah, we didn't have enough health to survive that, unfortunately. But again, we got one round, which means we can do this, so it'll just take a little bit. That's a low, apparently. It's like, this is like, just me discovering things about fighting Ino, because it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh boy, make up your mind, please. Make up your mind, please. So what was going on there? How the hell did we win that? I have no idea. Ino is a cool character though, like... Right now I'm not feeling super great about her, but, you know, in general, she is a very cool character. Yeah, Ino is a cool boss. Again, she's basically like a time traveler, and again, she has a whole connection with the other time traveler in the series, Axel. So yeah, just very fascinating. Again, a lot of it's down to characters for me. Like, Guilty Gear just has so many cool characters. Ow. You know, actually with Flawless Defense, that isn't actually that bad. I'm definitely, like, just what is happening? Like, I don't know what happened there. Oh boy, okay, we're alive. I think she was just, like, cycling Faultless Defense so fast it was, like, distorting or something. Also, this controller's good. This is, like, the most I've tried it out. I'm currently using an 8-bit, though, M30, and it's actually doing a pretty good job. It's a 6-button controller, which is nice. It's basically like a Genesis style. And yeah, it's actually really nice for this game. I'm actually not even using... It has shoulder buttons, too. I'm not even using, like, the 6-button layout. I just like using it for the D-pad more than anything. But, like, Strive is known for having insanely high damage, so, like, Slayer can just destroy you in, like, 10 seconds. If you're not, like, blocking or, like, teching things properly. Like, rounds can be very fast against the heavyweights of Strive. And again, that is something that tends to come up as a complaint a lot. It's just how absurdly high damage scaling is. I'm kind of like... I go back and forth. I can see pros and cons with it. Okay, please just attack so we can kind of move on. Okay, full screen. Or not. I can live with that. Or I can walk right into it, that works too. That was just me throwing away that, because we were doing okay, and then I screwed up at the end. I don't deserve that, to be honest. I don't deserve that win, because of how much I screwed up during the super. That is completely unearned, in a way, because I should have totally lost that, just because of how badly I approached that situation. Okay, this one. Or not. So yeah, basically if you get hit once by the orbs, all of them will home in on you, and that's what really sucks about that attack. So again, there are cases where you just can't really do a whole lot, you just have to, like, eat it, and just block to the best of your ability, which is always good boss design. Ow. Hey, good hit confirm. I say, like, I know what I'm talking about with fighting games sometimes. Sometimes I, like, drop fighting game lingo and I'm like, I hope I'm using that term correctly, because I'm just kind of, like, going off of what other people say. I got really quiet at the end, because I'm like, okay, we're actually doing okay, I don't want to botch it at the end. So what was that? Like... Anyway, as I was saying, that had to be like a dozen tries. That wasn't awful. Like, I'm actually kind of proud of myself, because again, when I grew up playing this, again, I keep saying grow up, but I was still a teenager essentially at the time. but I struggled a lot with this fight, to the point where even when I jumped back into Guilty Gear, I was like, how did teenage me beat this fight? Because I just got completely walled on it. But it felt really good, actually, doing that. Legit too, because normally what would happen is when I got back into Guilty Gear in recent years, again, it was like early pandemic, I want to say, and I was like, okay, everyone's hyping up Strive, I want to just sit down and learn Strive or A Guilty Gear, like Accent Core is cheap, XR's cheap, I'm gonna pick up those games and get good at them again. And then basically I would try out Dizzy, because again, I really connected with her story, and then get completely bodied at the end. So I'd switch characters to like Soul or Order Soul, and then finish arcade runs that way. So I think this is the first time I've ever finished an arcade run as Dizzy, because of just how much I used to struggle with this character. And this is also another reason why I wanted to do this little like retrospective marathon thingy, is to actually figure out the character of Dizzy and how she plays in order to actually better understand whenever they announce her Strive moveset. They still haven't at the time of this stream. I want to be able to actually look at it and see the differences, because I've never really been able to do that with Guilty Gear, because I've always just kind of BS'd my way through with certain characters like Jam or Soul or Kai, that you can just kind of spam moves more to actually win, in my opinion. You did the... I'm just like, I'm wondering if it was like a message sent too early, or if what's going on there. I can't talk clearly. Aw, those are cute emotes. Yeah, that had to be primes. I had to check though. But yeah, thank you. That feels really good though. We're not done with this Guilty Gear look though. Again, I'm a little bit on the fence about Dust Strikers and the other spin-offs. Also, I've been getting a lot of spam notifications from like Seribot, so that's been interesting. Again, Seribot's really nice because it just gets like spam stuff really fast. I don't know if it's actually catching things that are like emotes though, so I might look into that just to make sure like no one's getting banned for emotes and just getting banned for things they should be banned for. But that's obviously a bit off topic. I don't even want to look at the rankings. I'm sure everyone's rigged them to hell and back in terms of like just maxing out everything through hacking. I don't trust them at all to have legitimate leaderboards. This is how I feel about every game, to be honest. Again, technically the acronym of my username, if we count the word Fox. So yeah, I have no clue what those other two high scores are. Like what characters I used, and I think I just typed in my name there because I was like rushing and pushed the wrong button. But now I'm actually curious. I'm assuming it's like Jam. There's one with Potemkin, which is interesting. I think I was playing like a very specific like mode for that, or like trying to get like an achievement, and that's why there's like high score for Potemkin and Johnny specifically, because they were like the most broken for like the extra modes that you can unlock. But I haven't really dabbled in the other characters too much. Now it's looping. Oh wait, this is the metal mode. We might try that out a little bit. Again, it's only 2.5 hours. I thought it'd be the full 3 hours because of Eno alone dragging out the stream a bit. So I'm actually really happy with not getting totally walled on the end there. Yeah, the MOM mode is interesting, so we'll check it out a little bit. Now, will it start looping, or is it going to move on its own? Oh, this is versus rate. This is, like, interesting. Very thorough stats here.